Welcome to the Palace of Megapixels. This is Super Mega Brothers Turbo.
Everyone, and welcome to Super Mega Crash Brothers Turbo. I'm your host, Stephen White, and with me is, as always, Todd Stark.
Hello.
And John Taylor.
Hey.
Guys, what's been up this week?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Working. All day, every day.
That's always fun.
No.
No, yeah, it's not. It's really not. But you, Chancho, what's going on?
You can't call me Todd and then bust out Chancho midway through.
It just happened.
I'm Chancho.
Okay. Well, I mean, I see you're holding your phone over there. You're excited about the Yankees right now.
Yep. Yeah.
That's why you're holding your phone.
Yes.
I'm sure.
That couple reasons.
So if he seems a little distracted, he's probably going to be shouting midway through the show.
Possibly. Could.
Anytime the Yankees do something, he could be shouting obscenities if the Yankees fail.
They did that last night.
Now who are they playing?
The Indians. It's
Indians.
ALDS.
Okay. I don't really care. Do you care, John?
Nope.
'Cause I really don't. I mean, this baseball. It's boring to me.
Yep.
Dude, it's a thinking man's game.
So is chess.
Yeah, you don't like chess?
I've never really played
because it ain't.
And I'm not knocking chess. It's just I've never had the opportunity.
Why are you knocking baseball?
Because I've played baseball and it's just
you ain't played baseball.
How is baseball
okay in grade school
game?
No, you didn't play baseball.
Okay, I did. I played softball. How's that?
Wow, damn.
Does that work? Softball?
I mean, no, it's not even close to baseball.
But I understand
Softball
the rules. I understand the rules, and the game just
no. Man, something different happens every count.
I'm sure it does.
0-1. Your runner's doing something different.
The laws of chaos. That's how that works. Things just randomly happen throughout the day.
But
you could fart in the wind, and it's not going to go the same way twice.
That don't make sense.
Yes, it does.
It's going to go, if you fart really quick past the second one, like a couple minutes, and the wind's still blowing the same way, it's going to blow exactly the same way.
No. Chaos, man. Chaos theory.
Baseball's not chaos.
I understand that, but I'm just trying to, you know what? Forget it. No, you're just going to argue this point.
I love baseball.
I know, and I'm not knocking you for it, man. I mean, there are things that I love that I'm sure that you don't. So, no, I respect people's love for other things that are not what I don't get it. I don't understand the appeal to it, but you do. You've played it. So, no, I get it. John, I'm sure there's something that you enjoy that we might not even think twice about.
Not really. Pretty boring.
Okay.
I work out. That's about it.
Oh, my God.
See, but, I mean, do you do that regularly?
Twice a day.
I eat and I work out.
Okay, see, there you go. I'm trying to make it more of a habit to work out, but he's already got it down to a science. He knows when he's going to do it.
He's young.
But he can do it. He's got it. I understand. I'm just saying, he's doing it. Do you work out?
A little. I do.
Just off and
I
on?
think you
Is
lift
it
the
random,
controller.
or do you
It's
have it
every
down
week.
to twice a day?
Only thing he lifts is the controller.
No.
And the remote. That's it.
Nope.
And his headset.
I've only played games one day this week.
Twice.
But you go back and look at my room. I got a yoga ball and some
Yoga
bells, baby. Be back there doing a Jane Fonda workout at least twice a week.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It ain't the Jane Fonda workout. It's
I bet
stuff
it
that I
is.
used to do.
Probably still got a VHS player back there.
What is that?
No, I ain't stupid.
I ain't stupid.
Anyway, Steven.
Yeah.
What's up, dude?
Not much, guys. What have you been playing this week? John,
you
tell
go
me what
first,
you've been playing.
Bastard.
Still Horizon Zero Dawn.
You ain't even really played it.
I'm just mostly right now. I'm just
Working out
exploring,
and eating.
exploring
Exploring is fun, isn't that?
the
game?
map.
Yeah, it's a great game.
Yeah,
What
it
about
is.
you?
It's a lot bigger than I thought it was.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It just keeps going. I'm like, Jesus.
November
where's the
7th,
end?
when I get my game back, I'm going to...
I don't know if you will.
Oh, my God.
See,
that
I get
was
to play
the
Frozen
rule.
Wilds before you.
You'll get
That
it back.
was the freaking rule.
Was it November?
November
The 1st of November?
7th.
You'll have it back by then.
What about you, Todd? What have you been playing?
7 days to die still.
Mm-hmm. Good.
I made up for
Are you
smashing all the
enjoying it?
meat that one time that you didn't acknowledge was cool.
No, we
Because
didn't.
I was mad at you.
Why?
You didn't invite me to play. Or him.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even own.
You
He-
still
y'all
didn't
don't
send me an
have it.
invite.
I don't even have it.
What?
We don't, but
I do got it.
It's funny. Again, like we kind of pointed out before, you have
HughesNet.
You went out
Garbage ass HughesNet.
Yeah, you have HughesNet, but you also went out and you got a game. You knew what we had.
I had this game for a long time ago.
I mean, hell, you could be playing The Killing Floor 2 with us because we all have that.
I have it.
I know, but have you said, hey, guys?
Hey, Steven, have you got an invite?
No, I haven't.
I haven't played it.
man.
I got to download.
What about 7 days out? You got
download
an
it
invite for
tonight.
that?
No, I haven't.
Darn.
So, these games that I know that we all have. He
You
could
know,
have
I
went
said
out
get
and
Dead
got
by
Friday
Daylight.
the 13th, you know.
Yeah, he could.
I said, hey, get Dead by Daylight.
I've got it. We played together.
I will. He don't have Dead by Daylight.
I don't now.
Boom.
But I will. Like I told you before, Leatherface was already a selling point. I just got to get there.
Y'all
But
making me
I
my
mean,
head itch.
We're just saying that there was this opportunity. You knew we had these games, but you overshot us for someone else.
Yeah.
So we're
This is how it's gonna be.
Yeah, we're
Yep.
a little.
I'm still heated. A little heat.
You ain't shit.
Oh, I'm
We
shit.
got.
I'm shitting. I stink.
We're salty.
Salty. Yeah. I'm sorry, dude. Like, look, I had this game a long time ago, and I had a good reason to play.
Oh, you
So
did?
Yeah, nobody else is playing.
Not us.
Not us, obviously.
Y'all don't have the game, guys.
got it. It's literally
You
sitting on
don't
my...
have it.
What?
You just said I could get it. Oh no, he said that. Did
Not
you?
7 days to
I've
die.
got it.
I said
7
I get
days
Dead
to
by
die.
Daylight.
I've got it. It's literally downloaded on my PlayStation right now.
I don't even like you though.
Well.
I block you.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
If I get on right now,
Right.
your
right.
PlayStation's going to say, John Boy 1 is online.
No, it won't because you'll be on my damn PlayStation.
I did on my phone.
In my phone. Yeah. Technology, bitch.
Oh, slanders.
How fun is this?
I played 7 Days to Die. I did good. My character's awesome.
Is it good?
I love
Are you
it.
awesome?
Yeah. Well,
What about you, Steven? What have you been playing?
Witcher.
I'm gonna
Witcher.
talk. No, last week we were already. I beat The Witcher.
Yeah.
Do you not remember this
yeah, I
conversation we had
remember
last
this conversation. No, because I drunk too much Oktoberfest.
week? No, I already beat The Witcher. No, we're gonna be talking about my game that I played all week.
What?
In our review section?
But what's the game?
Cuphead.
Oh,
Yeah.
we have talked about this game.
I watched you play that the other day.
Yeah, you did.
Looked
just
very
for a little
difficult.
bit.
I mean, that's a game that I'm jealous. It's on,
You were very frustrated there for a long time.
that I can't play it.
And I have many stories to go into.
I didn't
when we
get to see,
into
I
the
didn't get to
review.
see any satisfaction of beating a level.
What? You didn't beat a level?
I didn't get to see any satisfaction of him beating a
I
level.
thought
All
you
I
said
saw
No,
was
no.
frustration and
He
cussing.
witnessed me coming very close.
Oh, he got very close several times,
That's
but it
later
was.
in the review, guys.
A review section will
Our
get into.
review
We're
section.
just talking about what I saw.
We're going to get into reviews later. Well, instead of messing around, we're going to get into the news.
Get into it.
First of all, we have the PS4 5.0 update.
Seen that?
It finally dropped. It kind of, I don't know if either of you noticed, but it just kind of happened. I didn't get a notification saying, "Oh, we're downloading this now." It was just I got on there and things were different.
Yeah.
And I was like, what,
Well, it should have.
okay.
It should have popped in a thing and said,
It
hey, this
reset
was
my-
installed.
I guess I didn't really pay much attention to it. It just kind of downloaded and
Yeah,
might
it
have it
wouldn't.
turned off.
As soon as I turned it on, it wouldn't let me select a profile or anything. It said, "Hey, you got to download this."
Yeah.
wow.
So if you leave it in rest mode, it'll download it for you. If
It
you're
just
PS
stays in
Plus.
rest of mine doesn't do that for some reason.
Are you a PS Plus member?
Yes,
Rest mode. It does a rest mode.
it doesn't.
Yeah, it
Mine
does.
doesn't. Mine's junk. How you doing?
What do you mean it don't do it?
It doesn't do
It
it.
doesn't give you the option.
To download automatically when in rest
Yes.
mode.
When you're in rest mode,
Sometimes it does, and sometimes it just says, "No, we ain't doing this one."
yeah. Then is your hard drive full?
No, I got like 100 gigs.
No, you don't. You're lying.
Anyway,
He's lying.
the new update dropped this past week. We discussed a few features on the beta. Was it a couple of weeks ago when they went into that? There were the things that we kind of discussed. I'm just kind of gloss over them. We had new system language additions, family on PSN tweaks, which were like the master and sub account. I think there's a lot of micromanagement in that. Individualized parental controls, where I think each one, I think this still goes in with the family on PSN tweaks that they did. And then there was a friendless management. I actually kind of played around with that. I kind of stumbled into it accidentally, but you can now kind of create, I guess, a folder for your friends and say these are these friends.
Right.
And since I had a certain selection of PSN friends that kind of fall under a category, I said, all right, I'm going to put them here just to see how that works. PS4 Pro has 1080p, 60 frames per second support on Twitch. A few other little things, message improvements. There was something to do with music where you can actually, like if I sent you a message and you could
you can share music.
Share music through messages. Notification updates, quick menu updates, virtual surround sound on the PSVR, improved tournament brackets, which I don't understand that.
Yeah, that'd be cool, dude.
I don't understand. You're going to have to explain that to me. Hang on. Now with the full update, because I'm going to get into that, one of the things that we didn't cover here are the additional things that we didn't cover. Team tournaments, which are the tournament brackets. Explain that to me. What is this? Because I don't know what tournament brackets are. I don't know what this.
Okay,
I know what they are outside of PSN, but what is this? What does this pertain to here?
Like say, well, it'd probably be certain games.
Okay.
It'd be games. You'd be talking about like Call of Duty, Battlefield, Madden would be one. Just competitive kind of shooters.
So that so that makes sense.
And then it'd be me, you, and whoever else we had, our team, we would enter in and they have prizes and stuff you can win.
Nice.
Not you, John. I would never, ever ask you.
So this is like a legit thing that other...
Yeah.
As far as what you said, like prizes and stuff like, is it within the game or is this something...
No, that is like from Sony. They're going to be offering special tournaments.
Okay. So it's tournaments that Sony offers, and then you can participate.
Yes.
With your okay,
and you can just all the time do tournaments. Like I'm seeing that you can probably just have a tournament with anybody all the time, but there's no prizes. So
that's still pretty cool.
Something like that.
Cool. All right, awesome. Another addition that we didn't cover was you can now follow anyone. So if you want to be a creep.
Yeah. Well, I think they have to ask, don't they?
I don't know, but why? So I can just find somebody that I like and be a creep on them?
If you got a private account, you probably got to ask.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure. I think you can set that.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, the way it just said, you can follow anyone, so you can just find someone and just be like, I'm going to follow you.
It'd be just like, they're just turning PlayStation into a Facebook social media type thing.
Again, more creeps.
Really more like a Twitch type platform.
Fair enough.
If you think about it.
I guess. But I don't really see how... I guess... I don't use it enough. Play. Yeah, I don't use that enough, so I guess that's where that would kind of come into play.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that in mind, I get it now.
Right.
So you'd want people to kind of follow you. I guess Sony's trying to turn PlayStation to kind of a mini Twitch.
Possibly, yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah.
With your share?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Why not? I don't know.
And also, though, you're doing that, and like, say you have a problem, and I go know exactly how to do it. Mm-hmm. You can hand the reins over to me.
Nice.
And I could play it. And I've tried it. It works fine.
Might have to
with
give it a
with good internet. Like, I don't know how it would do. It wouldn't work.
I know it didn't at first. Whenever I first got my PlayStation.
Man, you did it.
Yeah. You were playing... What would you play?
Evil Within.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I took hold of it, and it was a super bad lag.
It was.
It was a really bad lag at first. But then... I did it another time with something else, and it was spot on.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And it could be... the centric to the game, whoever's doing the servers or whatever. I don't know. Who knows?
Very cool. There's also they did message updates. All I really saw out of this was now you can preview a link, kind of like what you would in a normal email.
Yeah, something like that.
Well,
it preview or it just gives you a link instead of.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
It's
really,
a step up. That's about
sure.
it. I'm probably
for what it's worth, it's a step up. There were also updates to the PlayStation app for your phone. The PlayStation communities, you can now go into landscape mode. You can also view and post GIFs. I love GIFs. GIFs are the way of the future. I think they're better than emojis. And they also have language updates. Plus, on your PlayStation messages, they also had language updates and updates to your stickers. Ooh. Moving on. This one is a tidbit/rumor.
Tidbit.
Rumor. Because I don't want to legitimize this. I'm just saying it's a rumor. Okay. But I thought it would be worth bringing up.
I understand.
Must be true.
Nintendo.
Oh God.
Registered a trademark for the Game Boy in Japan on September 15th, which has led speculation that a Game Boy Mini could be in the works.
Hold up. Time out. How small is this thing going to be?
I don't know.
It's going to be on a keychain.
I would imagine if this is true, it's going to be some. I would want this to be a handheld device, but with all the games in it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So it would be emulating that idea.
Yeah.
As bulky as the Game Boy was, you can't tell me they can't do that. Maximize all that into one little bitty space.
Yeah.
But we're also talking about the original Game Boy, and I can't think of very many games that would really be worth having.
No,
because
not now.
Super Mario Land 2. That's about it that I can think of.
I wouldn't even want to play that garbage.
Wario games, those are fun.
Yeah.
And none of those. You're talking about the original Game Boy.
That's what I'm under the assumption of, is that they're talking about the original Game Boy. If this is
the 2-color Game Boy.
Yes. Well, it'd be two-tone, green
and greener.
So with that in mind, I mean, there would be a list of games that would kind of come up with that, but I don't really know what they would be because there were not that Link's Awakening. That would be 3.
None.
But there are people out there.
Away.
There are people out there who would buy this.
No.
There would be.
No.
There would be.
No. I'm sure you're right, but I don't know. Dude, we've seen what they've done with the NES Classic and the SNES.
If you buy
Classic.
this garbage right here, you are buying into just everything is bad.
But again, this is a rumor. We're not saying this is truth.
Well, I know that, but
because
I'm just saying, if this is true and that happens, come on.
The only reason this even came up is because if you remember, we talked a few months back about where they had registered the N64, and that got people talking.
I could understand that one.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I'd love to see an N64 Mini. I think I would probably go out and buy that more than I would the NES or the Super NES. Not that these aren't really bad. Not that these aren't great, but I would. That one I think I had a lot more fun with.
That would be cool.
I would love to see their game choices for it first.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah. Because if they could get their hands on the rights to GoldenEye or Conquer, which I doubt they could ever do, but if they could, it would just be great. Because they pulled off some pretty interesting choices on the SNES Mini Classic. I think there were a few on there that people were like, "Oh, I think that cool."
Whoever made GoldenEye would be okay with it.
Well, it's Rare, and that's where Microsoft kind of comes into play.
Well, isn't GoldenEye owned by Activision? Rare might have made it.
Well, that version of the game that came out on the N64, that was developed by Rare. That's why they remade it onto the Wii.
Who remade it though?
That might have been Activision. I don't think it was Activision. I think there was another.
That?
I don't know.
Stupid. I'm crazy, guys. Sorry.
I don't know.
Crazy Larry.
But anyway, this is just a rumor. As possible as this could be, honestly, there's another part of me that kind of thinks maybe they're working on their branding.
Maybe.
Because they're trying to build something with the Switch right now. And maybe they're putting all these trademarks, whether it be for the Game Boy, the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, N64, GameCube at some point. I mean, do we really need many versions of all these consoles when they have a virtual console? It just kind of feels counterproductive if you're going to offer these games on your console or like the Switch. That seems like a better spot to buy into that. So something tells me maybe they're working to something bigger and they're working on their brand. So now you have these icons registered for whatever they're building toward. That's a theory of mine anyway.
Well, theory, but also they're gonna go where the money is, and they know that that's gonna work.
I have no doubts that if they did that, people are gonna buy it. It's gonna happen.
As soon as the SNES, man, people was going crazy over that.
Oh yeah, even though
when they
said
seen
multiple
that, man,
times there's gonna be enough for everybody.
There's like money. That's why they're bringing it back out.
Yeah, there's gonna be enough for everybody. They're making the NES Classic again.
They had to get the Switch out, so they stopped production and then probably put everything over on that. And then they seen how big it was, so now the SNES is out. That was already in the makes. And then, hey, we're gonna go back and make you more of those. We're gonna make you more of the regular ones.
Definitely.
Yeah, they're going to.
I know. They didn't say it.
Making sure you knew it.
They didn't say it. I didn't read it.
Okay.
And they said there's going to be enough SNES classics.
I don't like the attitude.
They're just going to keep making them.
Calm down, okay?
I don't like this attitude.
Well, you don't have to like his attitude.
I'm being calm.
I mean, he is like he's being real mean.
I'm very calm right now.
Well, I'm just saying.
Steven said so.
Steven don't know.
Steven's the man.
You talk to him normal. You talk to me with attitude.
Because I don't like you right now.
Like your daddy,
you
man.
bring
I'll
up the attitude. You bring it out of people.
I do not.
You do.
I make nobody feisty. Nor
yeah, you do.
No.
You started off feisty when you didn't invite me to your game.
I don't like
I'm
you.
going to move on. Next thing I have, this might not interest you, but I would kind of hope that maybe it does. It's interesting for me.
Is it about Nintendo?
Not
Jesus
quite.
Christ,
Not
what do
quite.
we always
Said
talk
not
about
quite.
Nintendo?
Will you hush? See, this is why
Steven,
people get
proceed.
all right. There's a television series being based on developer
Nintendo.
Level 5's Professor Layton franchise
That's on Nintendo.
that is on the 3DS, and it's actually moving to mobile devices now. So
on
now
the
you can
iPhone.
Yeah.
Oh.
shut up. Not much is known about the project at this time, other than it's an animated project, which is good because I don't want to see a live action Professor Layton. And if you've ever played the games, they have these animated sequences, cutscenes, and they're always beautifully done. That's actually one of the reasons you kind of want to get through the game, is you want to see the next cutscene and how they do it. So the fact that they're sticking with this, that's pretty awesome. I want to see more of that. And they also said that they will actually be receiving a 26 episode run, so that's a full season of a show.
Yeah, it's going to be claymation. Wallace and Gromit, director's going to do it.
The company plans to reveal more details on the series during their showcases at the brand licensing in Europe and the MIP-Com trade shows, both of which are scheduled for later this month. Some may remember back in 2009 that PA Works and OLM released director, here we go, Masakatsu Hashimoto's. I'm sorry, they come at me just so hard.
They come hard.
Masakatsu Hashimoto's Professor Layton and the Eternal Diva in Japan, which later found its way to North America courtesy of Viz Media. I'm a fan of the series. I've probably got at least the first 5 or 6 games that were on the 3DS. I don't know where they've gone since then because my 3DS is no longer functional. So,
Because it's garbage.
no, it broke. I don't know how. I opened it up one day and the screen was shattered, and I was like, "That's great."
How long ago did you buy it?
I'd say over a year.
Oh, they self-destruct in about 7-8 months
Well,
on purpose.
Anyway,
I
the
blame the
cutscenes
kids.
of those games are really awesome. When they did the movie, I actually got to watch it. It was a little underwhelming, and I don't mean that. I don't want to discourage that the series will be that way, but it was. I think the series will work better because it's smaller portions of this idea.
Yeah.
Whereas a full-length movie was a little harder to pull off and try to
Kinda-
keep your attention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's kind of like The
I think,
Walking Dead.
yeah. So I think with this being, if they're going to do 30 minutes or 22, if you cut commercials into it and whatnot, if they're condensing it to that, I think this will really work as a good series. I'm excited for it. I really kind of hope they'll bring over the voice actors that they had from the games, because you kind of have this preconceived notion of what they sound like, and the moment something changes, it ruins it. So I would really hope they bring the original voice actors over. Now that we're still talking about, I know this is a gaming podcast, but games and movies are starting to mesh now. There
That's
was
fine.
another announcement.
Well, we talk about geek stuff, dude.
Yeah, we do. But mainly on the game side of it. We try to stick to that.
That's fine. We can talk about comics and movies every now and again. Let's go.
Well, but this is still a game thing, but it's in the movie realm. Paramount Pictures has acquired the rights to produce
Resident
a
Evil.
Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Oh, Jesus.
What?
Yeah. According to the Hollywood Reporter,
Yeah.
the movie will blend live action footage and CGI animation together to initiate Sonic's introduction into the big screen, because that works so well,
I'm
doesn't it?
so excited about this.
He just said live action.
Live action and CG.
And
So-
CG. This
so
is gonna be
we'll
like
have a
Speed
Rocky
Racer.
and Bullwinkle.
It's going to be like Speed Racer.
I was thinking Rocky and Bullwinkle.
I was thinking Speed Racer. You heard what I said.
I did, but that doesn't make any sense because Sonic's not going to be real.
But I'm saying live action and animation. You just said that.
I did.
The actors were all real.
But my using Rocky and Bullwinkle as a reference makes more sense than your Speed Racer reference, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Just making sure. Now, back in 2014, Sony Entertainment had announced a similar project, but unforeseen circumstances have shifted this project to Paramount. Currently, the project has a few notable names. Jeff Fowler, who was the visual effects artist for Where the Wild Things Are, is directing. And I find this to be a little interesting. They have Tim Miller on as their executive producer. Tim Miller was the director of Deadpool. And he's also, I think he had a background in visual effects. So maybe they're trying to figure out how to make this happen. No other info is known at this time, like cast or when production will start, but I kind of foresee this being a disaster. I don't want it to be because at some point, I want there to be a very good video game based movie that people can look at and say, that did it. Understand this is how it works.
Just like Deadpool.
Okay, exactly.
Yeah.
Just like Deadpool. The only video game based movie that I would say is good
Mario.
would be the very first Mortal Kombat.
Perfect, yeah.
Oh,
Because there wasn't anything outlandish. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. It took the story down to its roots and said, you have to go fight in a tournament to stop this from happening. And that's what they did.
Right.
Yeah.
And it just showed people walking up and fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, really, the movie made way to make the game better, like the story in the games.
Mm-hmm.
They pretty much just said, let's do a movie about fighting, but we have fighting in the middle.
Now, granted, it's got its problems here and there, but I think they're very minimal, especially if you want to throw in the sequel, because that piece of garbage, don't even get me started on that piece of garbage, because it's like they said, hey, this movie was a success, let's give it half the budget and recast almost everybody in the movie, and then just see how it works.
Yeah.
Because Shao Kahn, what the hell was that?
I don't know.
This second-rate B actor, and you had Shao Kahn at the end of the other one looking all badass, and then you come in with this dude going, I am Shao Kahn. It's like, no, dude. No.
Do that again.
No, I'm not going to do it again. You get one. That's all you get.
Come on, man.
No.
Please.
No.
I could not say anything. Did you see my face? I was just...
I know. You love it. But no, as much as I know that this is not going to work, I want it to, because I want there to be a good one. I watched Assassin's Creed. Have either one of you seen that?
I've got it recorded. I started watching it, and I'm trying to think. I was kind of tired,
I watched beginning to end. I didn't hate it, but I had problems. Like I can watch Mortal Kombat and just enjoy it for what it is. With Assassin's Creed, it was more like, why did you do that?
Yeah, like,
why did you do that?
They didn't
Stop
spend
doing
enough
that.
time in the other the
They for me, there was one scene that I was like, as a director, as a writer, this would have been perfect. They were showing where they kind of intercut back and forth between the real world and, I guess, the past, however you want to define it. And they were already showing this back and forth, and then eventually the character from the present gets shaken out of whatever it is, like he had some kind of brain aneurysm, or I don't know, something happened, it kind of cut off his synchronization to the past. You could have had this entire sequence in the past, and you had forgotten that you were even in the present. And then when that moment happens, you're kind of, you jump with him. You're like, oh, yeah, we're still in the present, aren't we? And you forget about it. If they would have done that and forgotten about the present while he was in the past, I think it would have worked much more effectively, because you would have forgotten. You're back in the past, and you would have forgotten. So I really feel like they just, editing-wise, they screwed that up. Huge. I don't know why they did that.
I mean, I could understand if you popped there to tell us important story part, but
there was no importance to that whatsoever. It was just like a visual thing, just to kind of keep you do it once and be done with it.
That's all you had to be shown. Yeah, that's what I heard from the get-go, that they spent only, not even half the time in the past and more of the time in the future. Is that true?
Yeah.
See, that's dumb.
They really needed to stick.
Never like that.
Yeah, stick to the past, because that's where your story needs to be.
Right.
Get to your exposition in the present, lead up to that, then send us back to the past so we can really get to the meat of it. That's where the meat needed to be.
Yeah.
And they didn't do that.
Yeah, they were never killing somebody in the future to, get rid of the Templars. It was always, hey, the Templars found us or something like that. We gotta keep moving.
The stuff in the present was always B-plot.
Yeah.
It comes into play, but not as important as it was in the past. So, anyway, moving on. Don't know if you guys saw this or not, but Netflix and the indie developer Bonus XP have announced Stranger Things the game, which you can now get for your Android or iOS device. The game has a very retro feel. It's sporting a SNES graphical style with a top-down Zelda-like viewpoint. At least that's kind of the design I kind of took from it. Just from what I saw from the trailer, there are like numerous gameplay elements like car chases, stealth mode, exploration, combat. You can actually download the game right now for free, and I did that earlier. I haven't played it yet, though.
You look so excited.
I was, because when you look at it, it was like they're taking that idea of the retro feel and they really incorporated it into the game. And the fact that it's even free, just from looking at the trailer, I would have expected to have to pay like $5 for this at least, at minimum.
Ooh.
It looks like a Zelda clone. That's cool.
It does look like Zelda.
I'm excited.
These reviews: 4.8 gameplay, 4.8 graphics, 4.7 controls. This must be an awesome game.
I'm probably going to download it. Now, the question is, what kind of microtransactions are there?
You know what? We'll actually get into that later.
Oh, my God. You're going to make me wait.
Yep.
Tease.
Moving on. Developer Bluehole is reportedly in talks with Microsoft about extending the Xbox One exclusivity deal, which could delay the game's release of PUBG, or PlayerUnknown Battleground.
Yeah. I'm excited for that game.
Mm-hmm.
Got to get that game.
It does look pretty fun.
It is awesome. I'm going to tell you, dude, it's going to be a good game.
It is a very cool game.
It's not the most popular game for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, it's
popular for
good reason. For a reason. Yeah, it's the most popular for a reason.
Now, do you feel like that this is purposeful?
No, I don't like that. I don't think that that's a smart move on their part.
What
for Microsoft or Bluehole?
For Bluehole.
Well, I'm asking, do you think this is Microsoft doing this on purpose?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Trying to extend the
It's the only thing that the Xbox One X has.
It is very popular.
And now you're talking about exclusive, right? Mm-hmm. So, and they're all totally against exclusives now. Nothing's going to be exclusive.
I was kind of thinking that too, because
but it's already on PC, so I guess
that's still. I think we've discussed that before. Microsoft or Xbox and PC, it's hand in hand. You got one, you got the other. You might as well anyway.
Yeah, I just hate. I hate when a studio just says, "Hey, we're not affiliated with everybody, and it would probably benefit us way more if our good game got on every single console, right?" Mm-hmm. But they allow a first party to buy it for, a year. Because then when it comes out on the other console, you want to get it, but everybody's probably moved on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it really hurts you, and it also hurts your sales, I think. If you let it come out, you're going to double your sales.
Yeah,
if it's a popular game like that game. I mean, and I hope they make it playable with, like crossover with PC, crossplay.
So I don't think I would really mind. I kind of understand what you're saying, but the exclusivity deal, if they weren't sure if it was going to be a hit and you wanted to put it one place just for a moment,
yeah,
I think that has some sort of merit to it.
That's
just to say, let's test the water, see if it works here, and if it does, then we'll move it over here. So yeah, in your defense to what you were saying about extending the deal, that's where it's going to hurt the developer more than it would Microsoft.
So. That game is so popular.
It would sell out pretty quick.
Yeah.
Well, I say sell out.
I hope they realize what they have. I mean, that game is really good.
It'll boost PlayStation sales for sure. They're already, not like Sony has any problem with software sales as it is, but this would skyrocket their sales tenfold. Easy.
Well, I don't think, everybody's got a PlayStation 4. I think you would have just really, you got to go where the numbers are. Mm. And the numbers are totally on the the PlayStation 4, and you're just releasing an Xbox One X. I could understand you doing the initial deal. Like you said, let's test the waters, see what it does. You've already tested the waters now. It's far along in it, and you're the most popular. Now you hold the cards. I would just put it on everything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'd let that little thing roll for whatever few months it is, and then you're coming out everywhere. So. Tell them to shove it, dude. I would say shove it.
I would like to play it at some point, but I guess I'm waiting to see what's going to happen, because if it does go to console, I probably want to get it there. If it doesn't, then maybe I'll look into it on PC at some point. Sony announced this last week an updated design for their PSVR headset. This new model is looking to streamline a few things, such as relocating the headphone jack from the connecting headset wire to the back of the unit itself. Also, there's a thinner connection cable from the headset to the PS4 to accompany an upgraded processor unit that will allow HDR to be viewed through the headset, which was a previous restriction. Now, the updated PSVR headset is being released in Japan on October 14th in a bundle with the PlayStation camera, which will cost about 44,000 yen. No announcement yet on when North America will see the release. They did say that you cannot upgrade your existing headset, so that's kind of a...
You cannot.
That's a bummer.
You cannot.
Wait, say one more time. What was the difference? Did they say the difference?
Apparently there was an issue with the original where you could not view HDR content through your headset, and you had to deactivate it, you had to shut it down. This will apparently allow that.
So now you still can't do it now on the regular one, right?
Right. But this new hardware will allow that to happen.
It was that breakout box, am I right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's a
because
big box.
there'll be a new processor, new cables, and then the headset will be a more streamlined, sleeker design.
Damn, I want it.
Well, the HDR thing right now is not really a deal breaker for me, so until they actually upgrade it with something that would be huge, I can do without.
How much is the price?
$400.
Oh, you said that already.
Yeah, I did.
Same price?
Give or take, yeah.
I want it. I want it now. I want it all over
But you
me.
got to think about it. What do you really need that HDR thing?
Yeah, I need it. It's brand
Why?
new. It's the new stuff.
You just
Do
wish-
not roll your eyes at me.
I'm gonna roll my eyes.
Get
You
dead
don't
by
need it
daylight
now.
and
You
hush.
don't need it.
No, I don't need it yet, but I might need it sooner or later.
Not now. You don't.
I'm just saying, I'm getting the best stuff if I can.
Good for you. Good for you.
Moving on.
Oh,
John, do you know what time
my
it is?
God. I bet I know.
What time is it?
It's time for Weird News.
Weird news!
Okay, well, the weird news that I have this week, there's a company called Boss Level Labs.
Heard
They
of
are
them.
a newly established online nutrition store. They have announced an FDA-approved pill that promises to enhance your cognitive skills aimed toward the gaming market, called God Mode.
Oh my God.
I'm not even joking.
You look at it, it ain't nothing but spearmint gum.
According to their very own press release, this is what God Mode will do for you.
I want to hear it.
Oh, God.
6 to 10% faster reaction speed,
Beer.
faster access to memory, including retention and recall,
Beer.
better distraction avoidance with improved focus and concentration,
Green.
increased key neurotransmitters leading to faster, clearer thinking,
Not green.
and reduce stress and anxiety with Yoda-like calmness under pressure.
Green.
What is this? Meth and freaking weed mixed
No, there's a
together?
little
What
bit
is
of cocaine
this?
in the middle there.
So guys, do you want to go get some God Mode to see how
nope,
well you
nope.
can...
It's already out. It's already out.
Okay.
Beer, green, and Coke. I'm not going to do the Coke, though. I don't care.
I do a line of God mode.
You do
or
a
a
lot
pill,
of God
whatever.
mode. I think you do. I think you did before you came over here. You can get some God mode. Have a damn aneurysm.
I will say this: whether or not I would actually want to take it, I think I would want to find someone who was taking it and watch them stream just to
Heath will
see,
take it.
just
Oh,
to
he'll
see
take it. Just tell
how
him
they
something
would
else.
be.
Heath the OD
Three of
on
them.
it.
I'll do that. I think it would be funny just to witness how they react.
How much?
I
I
want
wonder
to
how
see the
much they are.
commercial for that.
I want to see how much they are.
I want to see the commercial.
God Mode.
Dun, dun, dun. You have video games all over the place.
This would be a very 80s commercial. It'd have to be.
It'd have to be.
God Mode. Get your reaction speed faster now while you play your video games.
I want to see the price tag on that.
$10 is all I would give them. I'll tell them. I give
And
you
that
$10.
better come with like 50 of them.
Huh?
That better come with like 50 of
If
them.
I give you $10, I'll take 25 of them.
Whatever.
That's a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna pay $10 per month. And do you have to take them all the time, or can you just take them one time?
I'm sure it's take them as you need them. So if you're
That's
getting
what I'm
ready to
saying.
play a very serious game and you need a lot of focus,
yeah.
you're just going to pop it.
I fix
and
get
you
in
just
some
zone.
7 days to die. Take it.
He's always got to bring this game up.
That's what I've been playing. That's
Okay,
what I've
I'm
been
going to
playing.
move on to the second little bit of weird news.
Weird news.
Where it is?
Endless Fun Studio has announced the debut of their free-to-play sexy clicker
Ooh.
titled Fake Lay.
Oh my God.
I'm not
That was
joking.
me last night.
Okay, this is a description. With the goals of being the kinkiest clicker and dating sim in existence, this freemium title does not disappoint. Throughout the clicker experience, gamers can live out their wildest fantasies, played through the eyes of a very lucky guy who inherited a cab and uses it to become an erotic kingmaker.
A what maker?
Kingmaker.
King.
Kingmaker. Yeah.
Like the king of the north.
Yes. Players can disguise themselves as a cab driver, film director, masseur, and any job they can get or that can get them to their end goal of getting laid and getting paid. Fake Lay will have players gearing towards one task, getting an array of sexy ladies undressed to please you in front of hidden cameras. Awesome. Drive carefully. See?
That's exactly how you would drive if you were for real like that. You would look away and you wouldn't be able to say, "Oh, I just wrecked because there was naked chicks in the back."
Little bullet points they put with this description. It's a free-to-play browser title. You disguise is key, faking your way to the perfect lay. Now, you think faking it would be something that the women would do, not the guy. Just saying.
Yeah, I can fake it.
Seduction is key to the girls' hearts and pants. The language you choose impacts the level of horniness. Train your disguise skills to make it to the top as a self-made Casanova. And also, film girls to make money off the art. So you're essentially making porno.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I want this game.
This is a very weird game. It's free to play, man. Go find it.
I'm going to.
Fake Lay. Go find it.
Fake Lay.
So stupid.
It's dumb. I'm sorry.
Now, while we're talking about free-to-play games, that's a nice segue into our topic this week. Can you guess what it is? Based on that alone?
Microtransactions.
Let's talk about it because I wanted to talk and discuss the pros and cons of microtransactions because I don't know if either of you know, but I really don't know what would be the official source, the start of a microtransaction. Like what game really started it?
What game did that?
World of Warcraft.
Yep. That would have to be the first one.
Think so?
Yeah.
Okay, because
I
did a little research and I got no definitive answers, but we'll go with that.
Or what was that other one that Sony had?
I think WoW would actually kind of fit that
I
bill.
don't know. Hold on. EverQuest. What about that?
I'd say, I don't know. How long was that?
That was on PlayStation 2.
What was it? Eve? What's that Eve game? How long has it been out?
I don't know. Not long.
How long? Oh, okay, then WoW. I'm going with WoW.
Okay.
It's been out forever.
Yeah, let's just... under the assumption theory that it's
EverQuest.
WoW.
Yeah.
Because that would make more sense, especially as popular as that game is. Now,
how long?
What I want to discuss mainly about this whole thing...
Over 20 years?
Not that long.
Well, see, the PlayStation 2 was out for 20 years, and EverQuest was on the PlayStation 2, and it was an MMO. But I don't know if they had transactions like that because... Yeah, so it could be WoW. I'm going to retract my statement and just shut up. Thank you.
Now, what I would like to discuss here is I believe that in each situation, when people say microtransactions, I think there's an inherent thought that it's a bad thing. And I think there can be some pros to microtransactions, but there are very much cons. I think it varies game to game more than anything is trying to figure out where does that line get blurred. Okay, for example, let's just say Dying Light. That was a great example of, microtransactions to a point because you had your season pass. They had content that they gave you. So if you went out and you bought this stuff, you can buy it separately. You can buy it as a whole. And season passes are another thing that can kind of fall under the microtransaction guideline.
Well, I think it's kind of prepaying for... It's prepay or pre-order for...
DLC.
The DLC, right?
And even in that regard...
You usually get a better deal.
Yeah, but even in that regard... a company can screw you over.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But
definitely.
With that said, say you take that, they give you the content, you've bought that, you're getting more game. It's not just aesthetic stuff, it's not just a costume or something like that. You're physically getting more game for that. Then you have other things, which I kind of feel like are bullshit microtransactions. They do exist, but I also feel like that falls under the consumer being responsible for that. It's not where we were talking about the microtransactions for EA, or not EA. Was it the EA's not doing Shadow of War? Are they?
Are they? I think
so.
Are.
Is
yeah,
it them?
Monolith are.
Okay, yeah.
Or no, is that WB?
WB Games. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know why EA got stuck in my head.
Because they're the worst
yeah.
with microtransactions.
But WB Games, where they had the controversy that we spoke about last week, where they had the orc or whatever, and they were getting cuts of that whatnot. I think that's where people start seeing that microtransaction problem, and they don't want to be a part of it because they feel like they're getting gypped for something that's just, well, we don't even really know what this is. Is he a playable character? Is he just something you have in the game? I really still don't know. But I feel like that's where people have that issue with microtransactions, is they feel like they're getting screwed out of their money. Mobile games, I feel like, are the worst offender of microtransactions.
Oh,
I know for a fact, freemium games, as they like to call them, where it's free to play, but if you want things,
you got to pay to win.
You got to pay.
Yeah,
I know, and I did look this up because at one point in my head, and I feel very ridiculous that I even did this. I was playing I'm just going to say one of those town builder games, and they have events that happen every month or two, and it seemed like every 2 months it would be this real big event, and then eventually they'd be like, hey, you can unlock this character if you play. However, there's going to be this special character that you can unlock for X amount of currency.
Dollars. Yeah.
So if you want that character,
99 cents.
Yeah, and then you'd kind of look at it and you'd be like, man, I really want that character, but I don't know why I wanted it.
Yeah.
You thought to yourself, it looked cool. It's like, oh man, I want that character. Yeah, that'd be awesome to have for my town builder. And you would somehow tell yourself, that's not very much. That's cool. Yeah, I'll do that. And you would pay it. I found out that for this one game alone, I think over the course of a year or two, spent $400. I'm not even. I'm being dead serious. I'm being dead serious.
Oh my
I went
gosh.
and looked back, and I was like, I can't believe I've spent this much money on this game. And what did I really get out of it? Nothing. I spent money on characters, but that's how they kind of suck you in a way, because they manipulate your wants and desires, because they just dangle this thing in front of you. It's like, you want that, don't you? You're like, yeah, I do. And then you justify it in your head somewhere that, a couple of bucks here, that'll be fine. A couple of bucks here, that'll be fine. That'll be fine.
It adds up.
Yeah, it does. And that's what, at one point in my head, I was like, I've really got to check this because I know I've spent a lot of money here. So how much was it? And it came up to about that.
Woo!
Yeah.
She didn't do it all at once.
No, not all at once. But the fact that all that money was spent on this game, I'm so disappointed in myself for doing that, for allowing that to happen.
I stopped. I had to stop. If I play a game, I got a couple games on my phone, if it has transactions like that where you have to play or have to buy this to continue or make it so much, it's gone.
That's ridiculous. Now, if you're putting people behind a barrier and they have to pay to continue, no, that's bull. Okay,
yeah. Pay up front.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if you have that opportunity right there, if you want to give somebody a full game, then offer the full game. Don't put them behind a wall and say, this is the only way you're ever going to continue is to pay right now. And then how far are you going to get until they put another wall up in front of you? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's... I had one on my phone not that long ago. It's a zombie game, and it was... it's kind of like you had to wait for a certain amount of time. You store up, I don't know, I guess points. You get so many points, you hit whatever character you want. Like, they got the small characters is like 10 points, and you get 10 points pretty quick. So you can keep sending them out. Or you can wait, get 20, send a medium character, or 30, get a bigger character. Well, I played it for maybe an hour, and I got to like the second level or board or whatever, and it was impossible. You couldn't do it unless you bought any of the little microtransactions to get extra coins so you can buy the next character or another character. I was just like, go on, you're done. You got an hour of my time, guy.
Yeah, and like they make the totals so big that you have to do certain stuff that there's no way you can do it within a day. So you have to pay if you want to play it more than an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's for a point. I'd say, what is it like, Candy Crush or the match 3 games where you have 5 lives, you play for a little bit, and if you want to continue, you have to. Yeah, you
can either buy some more or just wait.
I mean, it's a bullshit thing to do, but that I think is where that self-control for the player themselves. Why do you have to play more at that point? Yeah. Just wait.
Right.
bide your time. Because I think it's a clever marketing technique on their part for offering that, because there's going to be a person out there that's going to be like, I got to play right now.
There's a million right now. Mm-hmm. And they do it like they put it as 99 cents. So when you look at 99 cents, you think,
that ain't bad.
Exactly. $1, yeah, I can afford it all. That's why I spent $400.
And then the next thing you know, you spent $5 that day. You know, and they're getting that every day.
Well, that's got a lot of people because they got their own TV show now.
Yeah.
Candy Crush has its own TV show.
Candy Crush does?
Yeah, there's like a live action game. Yeah,
it's like a
How
huge.
do you do that? How do you have a?
You got like zip. They get you up on the daggone cranes. A zip cord crane.
No,
you
no.
jump up. You all the way to
That's
the
the show.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a
playing it
giant
on
cell
big-
phone
Yeah.
Where?
on TV.
What
CBS,
channel?
I think.
I don't
Really?
maybe. Yeah,
CBS did that.
I think so.
it's I
I could be wrong.
Who's hosting it?
Mario Lopez,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Mario
God
Lopez.
damn,
Yeah,
he hosts
has no
every
career.
BS show.
yeah, he's hosting it
I
right
used
now.
to be AC Slater.
Yeah. And now I'm a host for a garbage game show.
I'm on Today and all that shit.
But I mean, in kind of back to what we were talking about with the microtransactions, I try to understand. Let's just take a case in point to the game that I was playing. It was a free to play game, and through those microtransactions of $400 that I spent, someone got paid.
Oh yeah.
So, in that respect, I understand I didn't pay for that game up front, but these people have to get paid, right? I mean, they're how do they get paid any other way when you're producing a free game? Where are you going to get your money from? Now, there could be ad revenue, but that's minimal, at best. So, I know I at least funded somebody's paycheck.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah, you did. And I think what it is, these people get like a big bunch of money up front, and they're running off loans and stuff like that.
And I think I actually kind of agree with that, especially if it was if it was based on a property.
Right.
I'm sure that whoever the property owner is, whether it be Fox, WB, or something like that, they're probably paying for this company to, create a game based on that property.
Yeah.
So you're probably right there.
I cannot. Yeah, they got their own TV show, dude. I didn't know you didn't know
I
that.
thought you were laughing because I was right.
No, you're wrong. You're always wrong. I didn't know you didn't know
That's
they have
why
a
I
TV
don't
show.
invite you to play anything right there.
I don't think that's the case.
I think another thing that I was trying to, that I think was worth pointing out when people do argue the problem with microtransactions is, I think we've kind of mentioned it already, you don't have to buy them.
No.
There are DLCs for video games that come out a lot. And I think mobile games versus console games, when they have microtransactions, I think there is a very big difference. Mobile games really kind of prey on that idea that you are playing a game when you're going somewhere, you're on a train, on a plane or something like that, and you're in the moment. You can be on your toilet for all that matter, So they're taking advantage of you in those small moments where you're playing a quick game, and they think, well, I've got them now, so I'm going to lure them in to pay that $1 for that extra life or something like that. Versus a AAA title, let's just say where we're talking about Mortal Kombat earlier, Mortal Kombat X. They had, 2 sets of DLC? And then that second one was actually, you had to pay for. Is that correct?
Yeah. Like
No,
the
you
second
Was
pay
not,
season.
or
You
was
have to pay
that
for
part of
both,
the...
though.
Well, they had 2 seasons, right?
Yeah, you had to pay for both of them. I bought the
But
first
I mean,
season.
but was the last one, was that part of the season pass, or was that separate?
That's
There
part
was
of it.
There was one that was like there was
Yeah,
a time.
you had to
period
pay for
where they
both of them. Yeah, there
split
was 2 different seasons.
Okay.
And
it.
then
What he's saying is, when did the first pack stop and the new one start?
after the 4th character came out,
Okay.
Yeah,
then
now,
wait a
but
couple
we're
months.
both, because it's been a while, were they both covered under the season pass?
No, one
Separate.
you had to buy 2
One,
separate season
okay,
passes.
so it was separate.
or you could have waited and got XL and got them both.
Right.
For the price of the
Okay,
game.
now in that respect, again, this is a situation you don't have to do this. You don't have to buy it. That was another thing that I was a little miffed at, and I know that they got a lot of flack for it, where they had the easy fatalities,
Yeah.
that you had to microtransaction for. But again, when you start arguing that point, you don't have to buy that.
Yeah, they
no
just
one's
put 'em there.
making you do that.
No.
It's the options there if you want to. Those characters are their options if you want them. But we're talking about a very big game that probably cost a lot of money to make. And the fact that you are charging the amount that you are, I feel like is kind of validated, because it's a big game. This is not some, 8-bit game. You remember how much Nintendo games used to cost back, years ago. Granted, different economies and stuff like that, but we're talking what, $20, $30 tops?
I don't know, man. I paid $65 for Super Street Fighter.
I bet you did.
Did they really cost that much back then?
I paid $65 for it.
Wow. I don't remember.
But not all of them were like that. I think
No.
it was like back then. It almost like if you couldn't find the game, they charged you more.
Now I know that when
You gotta
the
eat games.
N64 hit, they got a lot of flack because their games were higher because they were still cartridges.
Yeah.
Versus, I think PlayStation was out at the time, and theirs were
CD.
fairly affordable. They were, I think, running $40, $50 at most.
Yeah.
And I think the prices have kind of leveled out now, where we see a level rate of about $60, and that's been that way for years.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Unless
since PS3.
But I think
very few go over that.
But I think that's because of the use of microtransactions. They can allow that to say, here's a $60 game as you want it, or if you want all this extra stuff, we're going to need that extra money. Like Injustice 2 came out, or a lot of fighting games like that. I can remember here lately, it's been, you have 3 versions of a game. You've got your basic version, and then you've got up to an ultimate, which costs you $100.
Right.
But you look at everything you're getting, it's a massive game. As much as people will say that's ridiculous to pay for, you also have to feel like it's validated, too, that you were having to pay $100 for this massive game because it is such a high-priced title.
Mm-hmm. I know games that do benefit is the Call of Duty games. They got the weapon skin packs and the different... Yeah, those are pretty
that's
clever.
Just people like, that...
Those are good. I like those.
Yeah, those are good because
those are
when
optional.
when
Those
you
are
play
100%
online like
completely
that,
optional.
It's almost like saying, "Hey, this is who I am. This is my gun.
Yeah.
I have this gun." So I can understand those.
I can live behind those microtransactions or whatever because they're small. They're like $1, whatever it is, and you absolutely do not have to have it.
No,
whatsoever.
and the thing is, you'll go through there and you'll say, I really like that one, 99 cents.
And they've got and they always add to it.
24 hours, you know what I mean, like a playtime. So you get your money's worth out of those.
Those are good. I can stand behind those.
Yeah,
I'm perfectly fine with those.
I can't stand the play to win stuff.
Yeah.
And the pay to play.
Yeah, if it's a mobile game, it's got that on there. You're gone. I can't do that.
Yep. I can't either.
Now, I had a quote that I wanted to read to you guys because I kind of posed the question to a couple of friends just to see what, if they had any kind of ideas on the microtransaction thing. And I had a pretty interesting response here, and I wanted to kind of get your opinions on it. I don't know if I've ever spoken to you about Warren Feck. They're part of a duo called 87 Gaming. They're part of the Epic Streamers.
I've seen that name.
Okay. Feck said, I think that they've overall done more harm than good, but they aren't inherently evil. He said, like anything else, it's up to the creators to utilize this tool tastefully. Unfortunately, this is not the case. I absolutely do think that there are whales, quote unquote, ruining the quality of games. He said the meme showing when Rockstar discovered microtransactions paints a very vivid picture. He said they used to release at least one fully developed AAA game per year, then like 4 years with no new releases as they make $1 billion off GTA 5 microtransactions.
God, you would not believe. The good thing is they put out almost an update or a new DLC every month. Mm-hmm. Almost every month. They might skip one and put out a pretty bad butt one the next month, but for the most part, every month they got a pretty cool DLC.
Yeah.
But the prices of each thing in that DLC, like in-game currency, keeps getting higher and higher and higher. Now it's like, it's ridiculous. Yeah. I stopped playing it because it was just like, dude, I'm not paying $100 to get $8 million in-game currency, and it's not going to buy me nothing anymore.
Yeah. No, it's not.
And what I find very interesting about that is how they have, like you said, they've made all this money off of this one game alone, yet they have refused to drop the price of GTA 5 as a discount beyond $30. That is like that's the absolute lowest they're going to go. They refuse to go. I've waited.
It was $59.99 for several years after it came out.
It's still popular. Man, it's just one of those games.
And
Call of
that's
Duty's
insane.
the same way. Call of Duty is the same way.
No, they're not.
Yes,
they're popular till the next one comes out.
Right, but I'm just saying, if you're buying the next Call of Duty every time, you're always paying $59. Yeah. You're never going to pay less than
I ain't bought a Call of Duty in 2 years. Proud of myself. Black Ops 3 was the last one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're so proud.
I am proud.
But I think microtransactions are, they're not going to go anywhere. They're here to stay.
Yep.
It's like we just kind of read in that comment. I think it's really up to the developers to utilize it properly and
The consumer to realize its value.
exactly. I think if we can get more of that to happen to where anything that's least valuable from the consumer's point of view and they don't pay for it, it's going to hinder the developer from creating garbage content because people are going to say like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be paying for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Have either one of y'all played Grand Theft Auto Online lately?
Nope.
Have
you?
Well, a little, but it's been at least 2 weeks.
Oh, man. Have you seen the prices of everything on there?
Yeah, I mean, I got a decent amount of money, and yet I can't even buy a decent base.
You can't buy a decent car.
I used to have a house in there. I wonder if I still have it.
Probably. Did you delete it?
No,
Your
I didn't
account?
delete it.
Your whatever. It's probably still on there.
No, it's online. I didn't
Probably
delete my
still on
account. I
there,
just
man.
hadn't
They got
played
their
it.
own little network, though. So
I
it
haven't
says
played
you
in a
there,
long time.
not PlayStation.
I mean, my save files on my PlayStation.
No, I'm saying your
Oh,
online
I see what you're
stuff is
saying.
on
Yeah,
the,
online. Okay, yeah.
I guess their cloud or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now because I remember when I came over to PS4 from PS3, it did that.
All right, guys.
What's up?
We're going to move on to our release dates. There's not very many release dates this week, and I think I know why. Because
Why?
there are
Tell me.
2 huge games coming out. On October 6th, which is today when we're recording, but Monday for everybody else, Lady Layton, The Millionaires Aradones Conspiracy for the 3DS, and also Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, plus Bowser's Minions for the 3DS. Have you ever played a Mario and Luigi 3DS game?
Nope. I played Mario and Luigi when they were on Super Mario Brothers, and that's it.
I actually played, I think there's a few of those games. I played 2 of them. They're actually kind of fun. They kind of take a comedic approach to Mario and Luigi. It's a role-playing game, and how they present the both of them. It's pretty interesting. I don't really know how to describe it at the moment, but they turn them into like a slapstick duo, Laurel and Hardy, and that kind of Abbott and Costello type.
Yeah,
thing.
they do Who's on First.
They don't.
I ain't playing. Yeah.
But anyway, as I said, there are not a lot of game releases, but again, we have 2 huge game releases coming out this week. On October 10th, we have Middle-earth: Shadow of War for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
I bet you do.
And then on Friday,
Big day.
October 13th,
Friday
we have
13th.
The Evil Within 2 for Xbox One, PS4, and PC.
Have y'all seen the care packages they've been sending people? Oh my gosh, they're so cool.
Really?
I follow some people on Twitter.
The Twitter.
Yeah, they're YouTubers, and the creators send them each day for the past, I guess, today's day 4.
Mm-hmm.
They keep, well, I guess every day of October is when they're going to do it. Because, well, maybe. Anyways, the first day they sent this guy a stuffed cat and a letter, or like a little tag attached to it.
Yeah.
Second day, a broken mirror. The third day, an umbrella. I don't know what they sent him today. I haven't been on there and checked. It's
It
pretty
sounds
cool.
like bad luck omens.
Well, I mean, it's part of the game, but
You know
it's...
what I'm
He's
saying?
done it. Black cat.
Yeah, like
What
the
is
stuffed
it with
black
the
cat.
Oh, open your umbrella inside the house.
yeah.
Yeah, that was one of them. And it was each thing they send, it's got like a little tag on it. It's got like something of the story on there.
Huh.
It's pretty
Pretty
cool.
clever.
It is pretty cool.
Well, they do stuff like that with that game. They did something crazy like that the first time, I think.
Now I'm not sure how
press
how
kits.
this one guy got it because he's not exactly a huge YouTuber, but it's pretty. I don't know if there's like a special deal or if you pre-ordered it and added kind of like a Kickstarter deal. Like it gave them so much more money they'll send you little care pack. It's pretty cool though. You got to look it up.
I'll take a look at that. All right, guys, we're going to move into our review. What are we reviewing?
I don't know.
Not sure.
Cuphead.
Oh,
yeah.
duh.
Well, Cuphead and his pal Mugman, they like to roll the dice. By chance they came upon a devil's game, and gosh, they paid the price. Paid the price.
Damn,
That's just something new.
I was thinking of retro review. I was thinking of Mario Brothers.
Yeah, I was thinking of that one.
No, we've been doing a lot of new reviews because we finally had new games to review.
Yeah.
Before I get into the nitty-gritty of Cuphead, I just want to run down the story just in case you don't know what it is.
Go ahead.
The basic story.
This guy's got a cup on his head.
And do you want me to read it in like
Not
the
sure.
old 1930s, 40s announcer style?
I want you to read it like the old dude on Family Guy.
Herbert?
Herbert.
Why do you go to Herbert for everything?
Listen.
Because this is all he knew. He can't come up with.
And then
rules.
halfway
He just-
through-
So unclever.
and
Proceed,
then
Steven, how you
shut
please.
your filthy
I
mouth.
mean, I can do this. Do you have a voice?
I was going to let you do the 1920s or whatever it was.
Well, let me hear it. Let me hear the 1920s. First.
On the fictional Inkwell Isle,
No.
Cuphead
No,
and
no,
his
no,
brother
no.
Mugman
No.
are two fun-loving kids who live
Okay,
under
wait,
the
wait, wait,
watchful
wait.
eye of their elder Kettle.
Okay, good. You sound like a. And meanwhile, the Hall of Justice.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
I want to hear you do it like Herbert now.
Same line.
Same exact line, yeah.
Why don't you do the next one?
You already hear a story.
Yes.
On the fictional Inkwell Isle, Cuphead and his brother Mugman are two fun-loving kids who live under the watchful eye of their elder Kettle.
So much better.
Okay, I agree.
Yep,
That's so
thank
much
you.
better.
So much better.
Against the elders' warnings, the brothers wander to the Devil's Casino run by King Dice. When the brothers go on a win streak, King Dice calls upon the devil, who raises the stakes. I'm trying.
I know.
So good, dude. I love you. Love you right now.
Cuphead rolls snake eyes, and he and Mugman must give up their soul. The devil makes a deal with them. Collect the contracts of other inhabitants of Inkwell Isle who have lost their souls, and he might let the brothers off the hook. Now, what he's basically saying is, if you just help me out, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, and get your
So
fat
much
ass
better.
back here.
So good.
Bravo. Bravo,
My
sir.
dick's clapping. My dick is clapping right now.
Now on to Cuphead, the review. I didn't even really write notes. I'm just gonna talk.
You've played it. You've been playing it for
Yeah, I
2
have
weeks
been
now.
talking.
This is one
I-
of those games. You have to find out, how did you get past that?
Which
Talk-
one?
You have to talk to your friends about this game.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing.
Have you beat it?
I have not.
Okay, hasn't beat it.
All right. Now, first thing I wanted to point out, we'll gloss over the good stuff. It's a beautiful game.
Yes.
If you've not seen it, you have to go out and look at this game.
Yeah.
They hand drew every frame in this
Oh
game
Gosh.
Yeah, it looks nice.
to
It
really emulate that style
Yeah.
of the 1930s and 40s, like the old Fleischer cartoons of Popeye and Betty Boop, and
Right.
that's really where they got those, the style from. In fact, I was actually watching someone play it earlier, and you can tell they lifted some designs. I don't want to say that they ripped it off, but there was a pirate in the game. This is the third world before I actually got there. I swear to God, and again, I don't know if you guys have ever seen it or not, but the pirate's design looked straight out of an old cartoon called Popeye Meets Sinbad the Sailor. He looked like the Sinbad
Had the
pirate.
the head wrap.
Yeah, like he's real big, had the little red nose,
Yeah.
the beard. I swear it looked like they lifted him directly from that. It's insane. And a lot of those characters, too, a lot of the caricatures, if you will, they have that design. I kind of go back to Betty Boop, where they had those really odd characters, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
With
big
the
eyes.
Yeah, the big eyes, and they all have that little bouncy, whatever that was. I guess it was just a way to kind of keep them lively, so they looked like they were moving, where they just kind of bounce up and down,
Right.
So they all kind of do that in a manner of speaking, but it's a gorgeous game.
Yeah.
And
look
even
gorgeous.
even the music, the sound design. I mean, the music they really emulate that style. There was I want to actually show this to you. There was a level, and the guys that I was talking to about earlier, War Infect, they were playing it on their YouTube channel, streaming it, and they were playing this level, and the music sounded so familiar to me.
Right.
And I was like, why does that music sound familiar? And I could not place it. I just thought maybe it was like an old cartoon, from those days, and they just kind of lifted from it. Well, as they're sitting there playing it, one of them says, "Dude, this sounds like Super Mario World music." And then a light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, my God, it is. And I'll have to let you hear it, because swear to God, it sounded like they lifted directly from Super Mario World. But again, the way they were kind of playing it, it still had that old timey sound,
Yeah.
the old cartoon sound.
Right.
And another thing I really love as far as the sound design is the sound of the popping and scratching.
Yeah.
You know, like it's very, very
Yeah.
old and aged.
I like how they drew those in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just that little detail alone adds so much value to what they're doing, that concept of making it seem old. Because another thing too I've noticed, and I haven't really seen it too much, but I remember seeing a video, I think it was the game being played 4K, where it was really, really crisp. I felt like it diminished what made it look so good. Like when I'm playing it on my PC, it doesn't have the high quality, the 60 frames or whatever. I've got it dialed back. It looks so much better to me in that regard because when you speed that up, you diminish that authenticity of those old cartoons.
Right.
Because it looks more video game like,
Right.
if you kind of catch my drift, as opposed to a living cartoon.
Yeah.
So, now, with all that being said, how awesome this game looks and sounds, it is hard. And when I say hard, I don't want to say that it's hard in the sense that that you guys could not play it.
Right.
I feel like it's hard in the sense that there's not been a game like this for a long time. This is Mega Man hard. This is Contra hard.
I was about to
These
say,
are games
Contra.
that have existed.
Yeah.
And it's still that same difficulty, but it's not unbeatable.
It's not impossible.
No.
No.
It's just I don't think that there are a lot of younger players, and I'm going to be showing my age here right now. A lot of younger players have not played this type of game. So when I read these reviews saying this is the hardest game ever, I just can't beat it, why not? I'm sitting there thinking, no, it's difficult, it's challenging, but there's a pattern.
Yeah.
And you
Just-
have unlimited lives.
Yes, and you just have to power through it.
Yes.
You
Right.
have to figure it out because that's where a lot of that, like you said, you have unlimited lives, but they don't give you checkpoints.
No.
So there's a balance there. You have to figure out how to get from beginning to end on your own.
With what, 3 hits?
3 hits. You can get
Damn.
a 4th hit.
Well, that's like Mario Brothers. We only
Yeah,
have two
you can
on
get a
Mario
4th
Brothers.
hit, but there's also a caveat to that. With every little thing that you have, because you can buy weapons or upgrades to your arsenal, so to speak. You'll have special moves. You have different types of power shots that you can use, and you collect coins. What I actually found out today is you can actually find coins out on the main map. The main map kind of lays out similar to Super Mario World, but kind of like I mentioned before, where it's the big open map.
Right.
But instead of being on a path, you can kind of walk around. I found out you can actually find coins out there. They're just hidden, so you have to kind of dig around for them.
That's cool.
But you collect the coins, and then there's a shopkeeper, which that dude, you see his, I don't know, those little things, the little details. It's like that's straight out of one of those old cartoons. That look or that smirk, whatever it is. You can buy different weapons, but each one of them, they add difficulty and ease to your game.
Yeah.
It's like they don't hand the game over to you at all.
No.
They're just saying, here, this is something that could help you if you use it properly,
Yeah.
or it could hurt you if you're not. So you have your basic power shot, which is just a straight shooter. It can reach from one end of the screen to the other. You have a wide spread shot, which would kind of be like the spread shot in Contra, so to
Original
speak,
Contra, yeah.
except it doesn't reach the entire screen.
No.
It's just, a very limited distance, but it's great damage. You just have to get in to
have to
the
be
enemy
close.
to do it. Then you have a boomerang shot, which is a pretty good damage, but when you shoot it, it'll go forward and then shoot backwards. I found that to be very handy if you had a lot of things going on the screen. You could just be jumping up and down, so it's taking care of anything that might be coming up behind you. It's great for when you're getting overwhelmed.
Right.
There was another weapon which I haven't tried, which is like I think it's called the lobber, and it's like a bomb, and it's supposed to be doing great damage, but it essentially has a short range and it tosses like a bomb, so it doesn't have a straight shot. It's going to be more at an angle.
Right.
And there's even a charge shot which I haven't had yet either, but it's supposed to do great damage. But again, like a charge shot, like in Mega Man, you've got to bide
Charge
your
it.
time and aim it and get that shot in. So they give you these, upgrades, so to speak, but there's always a caveat to it. How are you going to play to do that? And you can even swap between two of the weapons, so it's not like you're stuck with one. you can set up your equipment, so to speak, and say, I'm going to have this weapon as my primary and this one as my secondary, so I can swap in between if I need
And
to.
can you do that on the fly? Like hit
You
pause
have to
and
do that
change it?
outside
Yeah, you have to
before you
exit
go
out.
in.
Okay.
So you can, and that's actually a good thing. So if one thing is not working for you in that level, you can change it up and say, okay, now what if I tried it this way? And that actually helped me out. That kind of adds a little bit of strategy to it. Because you can say, okay, this isn't working. What if I tried this weapon or this addition? Because you have, like I said, I guess they're like special enhancements, so to speak. Like you have an additional heart, which you can get, which will be additional hit point. However, it takes your damage down, they say slightly. So you're not going to be doing as much damage as you would with 3 hits, but you'll have that extra hit point. So it's a balancing act. You can have that extra hit point, but you're not going to be doing as much damage.
Which would you choose?
I've tried both, and I think at the end of the day, I just say, you know what? Depending on the boss,
Yeah.
I would stick with the 3 hit points. Because at that point, at least, I mean, I'm going to have to figure this out anyway, and I'd rather kill him faster than,
Yeah.
you know, so it really depends, but I think the 3 hit points was good enough for me.
Yeah, which one
You
more
have a
hit point?
dash move, which kind of reminds me of Mega Man X, where you can kind of jump and dash and do on the ground and dash, and it kind of
like
helps
the
you get
slide.
out of jams. There's an enhancement to that, which is called Smoke Bomb, and essentially you kind of disappear and reappear, Nightcrawler style, but in the same regard. You just won't get hit. So if something was attacking you, that will keep you from getting hit. So that's a very handy tool, I thought, and it's one I actually use quite often.
So that's not like a weapon.
No, it's just an enhancement to help you
Gotcha.
dodge. There's a parry move that you do. If it's like a double jump, and if anything is pink, it's kind of what you can use to parry, so you can kind of dodge it. And I guess you would use it to, or it's a dodge opportunity, so to speak. There's an automatic parry feature which you can enhance yourself on. So instead of doing the double jump, you just jump once, and then you can parry that way. I've never tried that, but it sounds like it would be easy, or something that could help ease your pain a little bit.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm talking about all the decent stuff, but there's still the matter of the bosses. Now, most of the levels are boss battles. That's one thing I've noticed.
Yeah.
There are 1 to 2 maybe run and gun levels per world, and I'm only on world 2 right now, but there were limited amounts of those. Everything else is a boss fight or a contract that you're out to get.
Right.
So they all have this very unique skill set. It's Mega Man. That's what I keep going back to. You have
looks
to
like it.
You have to figure out what it's going to take to beat this. Now, I have heard criticisms, and I will agree because I've dealt with it, is that where there is a pattern, there also seems to be like a flicker of randomness to the pattern, which can screw you up. So 1 minute you'll feel like you're doing great, and the next minute you feel like you figured out this pattern, and then it gets screwed over, and you're just like, well, I can't do this. What am I doing wrong? So on one hand, when you finally beat it, you feel like you've just accomplished something great, but at the same time, was it just easier than what you were doing before, and you just got lucky? So, but I don't really feel like it was that way. You know, for me, I feel like I accomplished these on my own, despite what it was, because the very first ones, I will say this, they've progressively got harder as I've played. World 1, when I go back and look at it, these were very precise patterns, and I'm sure I could go back and do them again and feel like I'm accomplishing them. I might not just do it with ease just because I beat them once. I still feel like they'd put up a fight, but I feel like I could probably do them better than I had because I've already figured out what it takes to do it. The boss that I fought last night, swear he came straight out of Mega Man 2. You know, the dragon. Because you're hopping platforms, you're chasing him, and he's sitting there shooting stuff at you, and you gotta go. Now, granted, he shifts it up a little bit, and he'll fly behind you, and then it starts up a whole new pattern. I know I played this for at least a solid hour, and several times. You can see it when you die, it'll show you a little card with little checkpoint flags and whatnot, and I have literally been on that flag right at the end. I'm like,
You're
you've
right
got
there.
to be kidding me. All it would have taken was 1 or 2 more hits.
Sneezed on him.
Yeah, he would have been
Been
done,
done.
and I made one mistake. And that's the other thing, too, that seems to be interesting about the game is I never feel like the game is cheating me. I feel like I'm making the mistakes. Like I'm getting so swept up in it.
Oh, you know what you're getting into.
And then just get frustrated, and then I do something and I screw it up. That's what it feels like. And I just beat myself up over it. So I was cussing all night, as I'm playing this. Everybody in the house could hear me. And then, like I said, autopilot kicks in, and I beat this guy. I just finally nail it. And I go, yeah! Fuck you! And just yell at the screen because I did it. And then I said, I'm done with it, and I shut it off because I feel like I'd accomplished it, and that's all I needed. I didn't need any more stress.
That is good. That is the one thing about that game, though. You're not going to be addicted to it because it's going to get to, like you said, one game level a night.
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, finally.
But
done.
when you do it, you do feel like that sense of accomplishment, and you will come back.
Yeah.
And I think that's the other beauty part of this game is the fact that you will always come back. Right. As frustrated as I've been, as frustrated as I've seen other people be, they still come back. And then when they finally accomplish that one thing that's been eluding them all that time, and there's that sense of accomplishment. So I really feel like this game it's destined for a place game of the year.
I'd say, yeah.
Could be.
Because it is so unique.
It's not going to get
it. It is something, it might not get it. It's so unique, and it stands out among so many games that have come out that it really is its own thing. While borrowing from other games, it really does stand alone as something that no other game can really say that it's like right now.
It will get best indie game.
Absolutely.
Sure.
If it does not, that will be a shame.
It will get that.
Okay. But we'll kind of go back to the score thing. I would say 4 out of 5 because it's not a perfect game. I did have it crash on me once or twice. Bugs, we've said that happens. I think the difficulty level and that frustration, despite it being something that I feel like helps you grow as a gamer, it does. I feel like it does kind of, it hinders you, and there's going to be that point where you're just like, I can't do this, and I hate
walk
that.
Away.
Yeah,
just gotta walk away.
So I don't want to hate the game, but I'm always I'm always coming back to it. So I can't really give it a perfect score because of that frustration. If I could play this and loved it from beginning to end and did not have a problem with it, and I'm not saying that I don't want a game to be challenging. That's not my problem. But to be challenging and to be frustratingly hard, there's a difference.
It's kind of like Bloodborne.
Yes.
I kept going back there.
Bloodborne, I didn't finish it like I wanted to, and I still want to go back to it. It was one of those that it took me a minute to finally understand what I needed to do because I didn't understand the combat system exactly, because you're so used to this or that, and this is different. Mm-hmm. So once you have that, you understand the learning curve, and you can go through it. And that I feel like that's what Cuphead strives for. You have to get through that learning curve and say, I can do this. I know I can. I just have to figure out what it's going to take to do it. So much like Bloodborne, there's that you just have to power through that one thing. And I guarantee you, the day that I beat it, I will feel like I accomplished something major. Oh, yeah. Whether I will go back through it again, I might, maybe on simple mode, just to experience it again. Because
you'll probably go through it again and know, like, now that I know, I wonder how much better I could do.
Right. And that could very well be the case. That is the other thing, too. Simple mode, just because it's there, doesn't mean you'll get anywhere. Because they make you finish the game on normal.
Yeah.
Because you are not going to get any of the contracts you're after on simple. You have to do it on normal.
Simple's there's probably kind of like if you want to kind of get a taste of what you're about to get
I think that's actually probably right. It's more like let me give you a sample of what you're up for, and then you can go into it, full force. But just understand it's going to be harder, but this will kind of give you an idea, the basics of what the level is. Because I did kind of watch one on simple, and it is kind of a simplified version of what you're playing. They kind of take it down to not as many of the off moves that they do. It's like 1 or 2 of the same move over and over, just to kind of give you a flavor of that. And then when you kick it into normal, they'll throw in the 3rd or the 4th just to kind of change it up. Yeah.
I'm ready for them to come out with the hard mode.
Oh god.
No.
It's called normal mode.
No, I bet they got it in there.
Did you beat
up their
the two
sleeve?
frogs?
They got
That's all I
simple,
wanna know.
normal. I bet if you beat it.
Yes. Yeah, the casino, the little boxing one. Yeah. I did.
The one that had the one that would come up and try to inhale you.
Yeah, it was watching. I think also watching someone play it and kind of being familiar with it kind of helps because I got through it a little bit faster than the person I was watching it. I'm not gloating. I told you that before, in case you're listening. But again, I'm more familiar with that type of game. You know, you're more comfortable with platformers. You're gonna have that leg up that I think some people won't have. If someone's not used to that old school platformer, they're not going to be able to do this as well as someone else. We grew up on old school platformers. Right. I'm used to it.
John didn't.
I did.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Which one?
I played like all the Contras in Super Mario.
It's Contra. But anyway, I highly
played
recommend.
Contra 3.
You played
Try
Ghosts
playing
and
that.
Goblins?
What?
You played Ghosts and Goblins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah, anybody thinks
I'm not some
Cuphead
type
is
of
bad?
gamer.
Go play Ghosts and Goblins.
You'll
Yeah.
change your mind.
Hey, they said in the new
Quick.
Super NES, the mini,
Mm-hmm.
it has a rewind thing.
Yeah.
When you can play Ghosts and Goblins, you can rewind to where you got all your armor and go back through.
Oh, that's cheap.
Be doing that the entire game.
Yeah, hell yeah. That game is hard, dude.
But anyone who hasn't played Cuphead, if you've been debating on it or whatever,
Do it.
just do it. You
You
really
will not
want to play
regret
it.
it.
You will enjoy it. I promise you. You will get frustrated. I'm not going to lie to you and say you won't.
I watched Steven. He damn near threw his computer
Yeah.
across the room.
But you will enjoy the experience that you get. So even if you're kind of on the fence about it because of the frustration, wait till it goes on sale or something like that. But I would highly recommend it. Support this game. It's a great game. I love it. But guys, that is our show.
Ah, jeez, I'm yawning real bad.
I'd like to thank all of our listeners
Woo! Thank
for
you.
following our podcast across the web. Please leave us reviews on iTunes, YouTube, Podbean, wherever you listen, and you can leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Mm-hmm. Go to our Facebook page, click that like button, join our community page, talk about games with other gamers, leave us topics to discuss, maybe ask John a question.
Yeah,
We don't have
please.
one this
Is there
week.
one today?
No, there isn't.
Nope.
It's like the empty mailbag.
It is.
Yes.
You can also head over to Redbubble and look for our official Super Mega Crash Brothers t-shirt.
Boom.
Boom.
Show your support. Let people know that our show exists.
Because they don't know.
Yeah.
Five
If you wear it on your shirt, someone's going to ask.
What's that?
Yeah, what
I
is
guess
that?
it's Cracky
podcast.
Podcast.
It's my podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if
My
they ask me.
podcast of choice.
You can also go to patreon.com/Pencil and Paper Productions to help support our show. If you didn't know, $5 or more will get you early access content to things such as Season 2 of our YouTube series, Man Cave.
Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun.
You
Seen
can
the
get
poster.
4 episodes right now.
Where's the? Have you seen the poster?
I've seen them.
Where's
awesome.
it at?
It's on
on.
Facebook.
It's on Facebook. Nobody tell me.
I tagged you in it.
Is it?
Well,
It's on Instagram too, but it's only half of it.
I don't like that. I don't
Yeah, I was
understand.
weird. I was like,
Instagram.
well, there's me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of me.
I'm gonna look at it right now.
But as we said,
Is
you
it
know,
on Twitter?
I did put it on Twitter.
Let me
I
look
thought
at
you
that.
shared it.
No, I didn't. I don't think I did.
Well, anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening. It really means a lot to our followers out there who do listen to us on a regular basis.
A lot.
A lot.
A whole lot.
Yes.
I know that some of you actually look forward to it, and that does mean a lot when we hear that. Anyway, I'm Stephen White.
I'm Chancho Smith.
I'm John Taylor.
Thank you so much for listening. Join us again next time.
I'm sorry, Steven.
But until then, game on.